Well, hello, good morning. I am James Schreiber, and today I wanted to talk about something that has come across a couple of my emails and a couple of my calls, and that is what are or is candidate services from a recruiting or staffing company. What can that do for me is usually what I get asked. And how this came about is pretty simple, right? Most candidates, especially senior candidates, understand because they're in the business, they work for a company that usually has internal talent acquisition professionals, as well as maybe some outside vendors. So they understand that the internal talent acquisition professional is trying to fit an apple with an apple when they are looking at a job description. And though some very good people might come through the portal, might register through the outside website, they might come across them. If they don't have an internal position that fits those people, those candidates unfortunately get put into a pipeline. And maybe they get back to them at some time in the future when a position becomes available, or maybe not. Most of the time, everybody needs to understand they do not get back to them because new candidates come in, they move on to other projects, so people sit in the candidate management system. From an external recruiting standpoint, so a independent recruiter or recruiting company calls you up and says, listen, I have a position at XYZ, I think you'd be a good fit for it. You send them your information, you develop a relationship with them, and then maybe you never hear from them again. Or they let you know that the hiring manager or director is not interested in moving on, but they'll keep your information, and if something comes up, they will certainly get back to you. Now, understand, and this is important to realize, because we all do it, we're all in business to earn a living, to make money. So the external recruiter, who might have his or her own company or might be sitting at a desk running a desk for a company, has to do one thing, and that is generate revenue. And the way they generate revenue is by getting paid by the client. Let me say that again, by the client. Normally on a contingency deal, if they place a person for an opening, they get a certain percentage of that first year's salary. That's normally how it's done. So as much as they may like you as a candidate, or even your profile as a candidate, if the client, for whatever reason, feels that they need to move on to the next candidate, then they will, because generating revenue is everything, period. That's the way the world works. Whether we like it or not, we all have bills that have to be paid, and we have to take care of our family. So we need to generate revenue. So what do? You're a senior executive, you're an executive, you're thinking about leaving or at least exploring what's out there, and you have a issue. You may not want, which is understandable, your current employer to know, or anyone at your current employment to know, that you might be exploring other opportunities. Number two, your network, if you go to them, there are too many people intertwined, right? It's a small world. If you tell Bob, Bob may keep it confidential, but if it does get out, it could all get all the way back to Sarah, who sits in the office next to you. So what do? Well, the option is this. You go to a company that provides candidate services. What's a candidate service? Well, it's anything from maybe just helping you build a resume, maybe helping you with your phone skills for interviews, or talking about what kind of position would be right for your next position, exploring the different business sectors to see where there might be a fit, or it could be a full force type of situation where the candidate services go out and actually market you confidentially to prospective employers. Now, the one thing I know we never do in our candidate services, and I assume isn't done in the industry as a whole, is we do not charge both ways. If we have a client that is paying us a retainer or a contingency fee or any type of fee for candidates, we certainly do not charge the candidate at all, period. Our fiduciary relationship is to the client, and that's who pays our fee, and that's who we work for. But if it's in a situation where a candidate says, you know, I heard that XYZ company might be looking for someone like myself, I have no relationship there. Is there any way you could help me develop an inroad confidentially to get in front of that client? That's what a candidate services professional does. They help people with their career, and their only focus is that candidate. And that is why there are certain candidates, especially a little bit more senior candidates, who feel that it makes more sense to have somebody on their side 100%. And that is a service that is needed. It's a service that some of the candidates that I've spoken with didn't even know they existed and felt lost in some ways, because all they felt was they either had to go to a staffing or recruiting company when they called and asked if there were any openings that they might fit. You know, they look through LinkedIn, which is fantastic, or Indeed, or Monster, or Glassdoor, or the others. That's great, but they didn't feel comfortable submitting their resume because they weren't ready to allow their current employer to know. Well, that's where a candidate services professional comes in. So listen, I'm going to keep this really short. We provide that service. I know there are some other companies that do. So maybe the best thing to do, if you're interested, is to go to my website, www.grtas.net, www.grtas.net. There's a calendar there. You can set up a 30-minute, no obligation call just to learn more, to talk a little, and see if it's right for you. There are other organizations out there that do it as well, and you can do some research. But if this is something that you feel might work for you, I think you deserve a chance to hear what these services really can do to help you move your career forward. So listen, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Please follow me on Twitter at Limo Jim. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a live YouTube segment, and I'll keep people aware of that. You can go on my website and you can email me if you want to talk to me directly, or sign up for us or for someone from my team so we can have that chat. But thanks a lot. It has been a pleasure speaking with you all. Thank you for the time, and I look forward to our next chat. And please send me some ideas or questions you might have. Always open to seeing how I can help. Take care now. Have a great day. And remember, if it's time to think, and it's always time to think, it's time to act. Take care now, everyone. Bye.